Hey everybody, Anna here. I just wanted to do a quick flip through of my finished journal. This is just one of those little vintage Rand McNally little books that I took the spine and the pages out of and used the covers and then used my bind it all and bound my stuff together and added some laces and fabrics and then this little charm here. And this is basically my my wish book for a craft room, a craft space. So you know how people would make like vision boards on things that they wanted in their life? This is like my version of a vision board, but for a craft space. And it has all sorts of different pages in it, different types of papers and doodads, and so I thought I would just share it with you. So the inside cover, I put it in a pocket and it's just got some little things in there, and I called it the Parchment Parlor because if I ever get my own, craft space, I'm gonna name it the Parchment Parlor, I think. And so I kept a couple of the pages, like the original pages of the book, and this is one of them, a little house. And so then it starts where I talk about my idea of, like a she shed, a space that's just for me. And so I'd taken some pictures out of magazines and I had printed pictures from Pinterest. And so I just added them in here. So it's like a glue book journal type collaboration basically. And so then I just kind of journaled a little bit in here. And then my second thought was, well, maybe taking a camper and turning it into a crafting space. The problem is, is that I live in Michigan and the winters can be really, really harsh here. So I'm not sure that an outdoor craft space would be the most beneficial for me. So I'm rethinking these two ideas. And so I had gotten this vintage postcard from a friend, and it's got like a snowy type scene to it, and like the house is covered with snow. And so I was just basically talking about, that winters here are very wet and cold, and I don't know how much I would use an outdoor space. So then this kind of just starts my idea file, basically, of things that I like, that I've been drawn to, that I want to keep all in one spot. So if one day I end up with a craft space, I can come back to this and maybe take out some elements and use different things that I've found and that I've put in here for my space. So I'll just flip through a little bit with you. I have some different trims and stuff on the edges. So these are just pictures that, like I said, I found them in Pinterest, I found them in magazines, and so I just put them all together like this. Some things I found that were like, just kind of interesting, like this here, where they had taken a lamp and added bingo cards to it, and I thought that was a really cute idea. This one has a little tuck spot on the side here, a little pocket on the side. So then I just have this, picture in here. And then this is an envelope. So you open it up, and then this shows kind of like the different color palettes that I like, or that I'm drawn to typically. And different container ideas. And I just kind of, like you see, I don't journal on every page, but I just journal little bits and pieces of things. You'll see like reoccurring things as far as like colors and textures. I'm typically either or. I either really like pastel colors or I like the bright, bold colors. So you'll see both throughout this book. This one I just added some lace to, and I'm in love with this rug on this picture. I love this rug here. Another thing that I found really interesting, a way kind of just to like display and organize at the same time, I guess, a little bit. You know, I used a paint chip sample here and just added things on. So as you can see, I mean, this is just kind of like my idea dump almost, all in one spot. And then I can just kind of come back and look at things. And I feel like this is a great, you know, another use for junk journals is not just like to make them pretty and look at, which is perfectly fine, because obviously I like pretty, I like lace, I like fabrics, but it's still functional too. And I'm obsessed with hutches. I love hutches. I love the way that, you know, they're so great for both displaying and for storing, because I'm like, I love things to look pretty, but they still need to function too. So you see a lot of hutches throughout this too. I'm obsessed with like hoop art. I'm always fascinated by people that do cross stitching and embroidery. But as you can see, I mean, I still added, you know, elements to it. I still added a little bit of like fun things. So you can still, you know, add your cutesy things to it. This was actually a calendar, a picture out of a calendar that I liked Make Your Mark. And so I kind of turned it into a big tag that went into the book. And I desperately want a vintage typewriter. And here's another one of those pockets. And again, it holds different like color schemes I like. And then this one has a top loading pocket that just has a picture on there, and then I journaled, you know, on the back of it. And then it just tucks right back in. I really love this organizer. It kind of reminds me of like, you know, those like vintage penny candy stores, and the way that it's displayed like an old country store type thing. I just loved the look of it and had to add that in. Another amazing hutch here. And so I'm also a sewer, and I'm a vintage lover, and I love patchwork quilts or things that look like patchwork quilts. And I have a stack of them right now that I've collected over the years. And so I really liked how this looked like a patchwork quilt. And then on the back side, I put a picture basically of like, you know, different fabrics displayed. I know a lot of people have these carts, these craft carts, and I want one really bad. And then this one also has a side pocket here, and it's got just a couple little doodads. I'll put those back in later. And here's another picture page from the actual book that I kept. This one is just a little, it's just a tuck. I'm just tucking it into the lace that's sewn in on the side. Another vintage typewriter. And then this is a little you know, pull out right there. And then I talked about, even though it's not like I don't have a picture, I talked about how I really need to have a coffee maker in my, you know, my craft space, because I drink a lot of coffee. I love coffee. And so this was just me kind of journaling about having, that was a must for me. So now we're getting to the end, and I loved this idea that I saw on Pinterest. It's basically taking old VHS tape containers and using the containers to store like your little stuff, and then they have it housed in like a VHS tower. And I thought that was pretty genius, actually. And so that's my last page, and talking about I like the wooden arrows. So yeah, so that's my little vision board craft room journal, and I hope that you like it, and thank you for stopping by and hanging out with me. I'll talk to y'all later.